getting out of poverty is really about raising the productivity of ordinary people. That productivity cliff exists between the poor world and the rich world. Indeed, when you take people out of the poor world and put them in the rich world, overnight they become very much more productive. The miracle of productivity happens in cities, and there's good reason for that. The sources of productivity are a large scale in production and specialization. Different people specialized in different things. And that's what cities enable. They enable scale and specialization by bringing a lot of people together. Africa's about halfway through its urbanization process, but to date, Africa's urbanization process hasn't produced that productivity miracle, because the miracle isn't automatic. It happens if you manage to seize the opportunities, and that requires effective public policies. So what makes the difference between effective policies and ineffective policies? Think of an image of a productive city. If you look at it in cross-section, it looks like a pyramid. As you move towards the center of the city, the density of economic activity goes up. And density is your friend in terms of productivity. As you bring a lot of people together, for example, living in, say, 5-story apartment blocks, where the top 4 are people living, and the bottom story is little enterprises, people working. So that a lot of the jobs that people have are local jobs, local within their neighborhood of the city. So a lot of different activities all occurring in more or less the same space. So that's the sort of thing you want to aim for. And a lot of African cities don't look like that. Sometimes residential structures are too high, but if you go above 5 stories, they get very expensive because you need elevators. But more often, residential spaces are much too low density. A slum may feel crowded, but actually it's low economic density because it's often just single-story shacks. And so moving from slums to 5-story apartment blocks interspersed with a lot of small firms, that's good policy design. Bad policy design is permitting slums or clearing the slums but putting people out many miles from employment opportunities in places that are zoned just for residents. So that's a contrast between good and bad. So Africa's halfway through its urbanization. It needs to make the next half of its urbanization more successful than the last half.